Hi, this is Brian Van from Sport Bike Track Gear, sportbiketrackgear.com. Today we're going to talk about one of the most common modifications most of us will make to our motorcycle, and that is the addition of a windscreen. There's a couple of different ways to go in terms of the shape and the style of the windscreen. The most popular for sure is the dual radius or double bubble windscreen, if you will. What that does, it essentially offers a second radius, raises the height of the screen a little bit, it improves aerodynamics, and it kind of gets the wind up and over you when you're riding the motorcycle. There's a lot of different brands out there today, and the reality is most of them are pretty good. One that's a little bit newer to the market is Hotbodies Racing. They've had the screens out now for I think almost 3 seasons. They're actually being made in the United States. The stock is great. The quality has been fantastic. The fit's been real good. And we're just going to basically show you how to put one on a motorcycle right now. This is one of my guys here, Ryan. He's got an 06 R6. And we're going to install a Hotbodies Racing dual radius dark smoke screen on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the package, give you a quick look at what we've got. You can kind of see here, Eric, if you want to grab that, that should be a good way to have a look at the dual radius that we're talking about. That's that second bubble right here. Raised up like 1.5 inches or so, it makes a big difference, really gets the air up and over you. Okay, now let's get down to the meat and potatoes. Let's show you how to change the windscreen. On most motorcycles, it's very easy. It's so easy, you can even change it with a collarbone that's shattered in 5 places that I'm going to have surgery on tomorrow, thank you very much. We're going to start by removing the windscreen screws from the outside of the upper fairing. Piece of cake, I've just got a standard Phillips screwdriver here. It's not a big deal. Just go ahead and thread those right out. Now remember too, on all the bikes, these are just plastic, these screws, so you don't want to go bananas on these things when you're putting them back down. We'll talk about that during the install. This particular motorcycle has just the 4 screws on the outside. Just going to go ahead and get those all out of there. Kind of put them to the side somewhere where we don't lose them. Now underneath the upper fairing, the mirror is going to be held on by basically 2 nuts, okay? This particular motorcycle uses a 10mm wrench. I'm going to go under there, I'm going to break these bad boys loose. And they thread right out, threads out super easy, okay? Go ahead and loosen the 2 nuts up. And then from there, kind of give the mirror just a little twist like that, it comes right off. This is literally one of the easiest projects you'll ever take on. It's going to take probably a grand total of hopefully less than 10 minutes, so we make it inside of the YouTube window here without any issue. Getting the other mirror off. And there you go. Both mirrors, all 4 screws are out. Now, grab the upper fairing, and you just have to distort it just a little bit to break the screen loose. On this particular bike too, we have couple of clips on the inside where you just have to pull the windscreen up a little bit. It releases it from these tabs in the upper fairing. Piece of cake. Over here, slide that out, and there you go. Eric, if you want to focus on these real quick, these little plastic, these little rubberized well nuts, you want to reuse these with the new windscreen. What I like to do is grab them by the back, pull them right through. The rubber, they distort real easy. Especially on a brand new bike like this, you're going to be able to reuse these no problem at all. Pull them all through. Let's put that screen to the side. Let's go back to our new screen. The easiest way to put these in is to put them in from the back side. Just kind of distort it, twist it around a little bit. You have to push the thicker portion of the walnut through. Kind of turn it around, look at it, you'll see that it's all flush now. And repeat that for the other 3. Okay, the windscreen's all put together. We've got the well nuts in there. Something I want to show you real quick too is how flexible these replacement screens really are. Okay? No cracking, it doesn't feel difficult, it flexes quite easily. Something else you want to do with your fairing too, remember you're going to have to distort this just a little bit. Kind of get a sense for what it's capable of without over-stressing it, okay? And on this bike, it looks like I've got about that much to work with. You know, you don't want to go damaging your stock bodywork to put the windscreen on, and conversely, I don't think you want to pull the whole motorcycle apart just to dip a windscreen in there. So just experiment around a little bit, especially if you haven't done this before. Now, when you go ahead for your install, you're going to kind of need to take it in stages a little bit here. I'm going to kind of work in one side at a time. Now, on the back side of the windscreen, we've got some cutouts that accept a locator pin that is on the upper fairing. And it's important that we get that lined up as we go down and get it locked in. Got that lined up, feels like on both sides. The left one is in, and the right one is... There we go. Remember, everything's pretty flexible, so work it around a little bit. Go ahead and get your screws started. Okay, so we're just going to grab the screwdriver here. Just a couple of turns. Now for the mirror mounts, I did pull out these. These are important. These little metal spacers, okay? Very important. These are installed here in the rubber portion of the mirror mount. Pretty much every motorcycle has the same exact concept. So just make sure that you've got those in there, okay? And they do kind of like to come out sometimes when you're doing this. Slide those in. Let's grab our right-hand mirror. A couple of nuts. Gets really pretty easy from here. Mirror goes right through. Just going to stress the whole mirror nut thing one more time. It's very important. You do not lose those, okay? Those are a key element. You know, you can't discard them. You can't go without it. They have to be in there. It's very critical. So make sure you're taking a good look at it upon reassembly, making sure that those are still with us. This is one of those jobs you really shouldn't have a whole lot of parts left over, if you know what I'm saying. Same thing. Let's take the mirror, slide it in, goes right through the fairing bracket. And believe me, it has happened. There's no need for any of this to be super tight. What you want to do is just snug them up until you really feel like it started to grab good, and then just stop and you'll be okay. There's that side. Come over here, snug these up. It'll be good to go. I'm sure the camera can catch it here. Let's say all in all, the screen certainly looks good. It adds a lot to the motorcycle. You know, a modification that's under $70, it adds a lot to the bike in terms of aesthetics and performance. We think the Hotbodies brand fits great, looks great, the quality is on par with any of the Poos, zero gravity, any of that stuff. The beautiful part is the price is less because all the other screens are typically made out of the country. The euro-dollar relationship is way out of whack right now, so all the other screens have gone up well into the 80s, okay? This screen is under $70 delivered. That's a beautiful thing. Hotbodies windscreen installed on an 06 Yamaha R6. Okay, that's it. There we go. Here is our finished product. We've got the windscreen on the bike. It fit great. Everything's lined up very nicely. Let's talk about the Hotbodies screen in relationship to some of the other brands in the market, some of the Poos, the zero gravity, stuff like that. The beautiful part with this screen is, in the last year or so, the euro to the dollar relationship has gone kind of bananas. I think most of us are aware of that. Your other screens, Poos, zero, you know, a lot of them they're made overseas. So when they're imported, their price has been affected dramatically by this currency relationship. These are made in the USA. They have been completely unaffected by that. So what you've got here is you've got a screen that is of all the same quality as the other stuff that we're able to sell at prices that are under $70. The other stuff has all went well over $80. At the end of the day, you've got the same thing. You've got just a good quality windscreen that fits the motorcycle well. I think Eric can just pan in here just a little bit. This thing looks great. It's add a lot to the motorcycle aesthetically. The performance benefits with the dual radius going to be, it's going to kind of extend the airflow up over the rider a bit, makes it a little more comfortable to ride. Certainly the best motivation is the way it looks. I think for a street bike, putting on a dark smoke dual radius screen is probably one of the most effective and coolest mods you can make, especially under $100. So there you have it. There is the brand new Hotbodies dual radius dark smoke windscreen installed on the 06 Yamaha R6.